Let's let this rock out for a bit. We live. If you see me on my phone, it's because I'm looking at the questions and
That's
comments.
cool. But you came prepared, not me.
You're good. This is hard.
Telling you, man.
This is hard.
You was the shit.
Yeah.
Let's
go.
Hey. You know what this is?
Nah. C1K?
Huh? Yeah. Oh, and his boy, Young Bao.
Maybe I see him. I know my
Yeah.
face, but that's what's up. I'm glad they got a tune together.
Yeah. That's Young Bao. Fire, bro.
Ooh, shout out to my boy. Let's go. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. We are live in the cut.
Yerp.
How we sounding? Sounding alive and sexy?
It's good. Sounding a little low, but I'm turning it up.
Okay, perfect. Listen, man, we are back at it with another episode. We are live in the cut. We got a special guest in the building, a longtime friend actually.
For real.
That happens to be in the building. She's been killing it recently with her photo shoot with her luxury photo booth brand that we're gonna be breaking down the whole business. If you're into, a side hustle, or if you're into, just the whole industry of having your own photo booth. But she's also happens to be in the medical field, killing it as well. She's a hooper. She could definitely shoot the three.
I got a little shot.
A little something. And, actually I've known you probably right? Like
15?
Yeah,
20,
I was 15, maybe 14, younger than that. So for the better part of 15 years, maybe. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
I used to ball all the time.
Bro, so it's been. I've seen your story, kind of as we go, and I
Likewise, yeah.
I've seen you do a lot of different things that many people are afraid to do, and that's why we have you here on the show. If this is your first time, tapping into the show, we're gonna be breaking down the plays on people that are really making things happen as far as still grinding, working a traditional job if you working a traditional job, but making things happen on the side, whether it's a side business, side hustle, and breaking that down. But I definitely want to introduce our special guest, Miss Nikki May. What's up?
Thank you for having me.
Welcome.
I appreciate you for reaching out. Man, I think I've known you for like you said, 15 years. And ever since then, I've watched you growing from the barber you were to the freaking big boss barber you are now. And business owner, and this podcast, pretty cool.
We here.
Yeah.
I appreciate you for being here. I know it's been a long time coming, right? Because we've been talking about being on the show. So I'm super excited that we're here. I'm excited to break your business down and how you guys have been killing it. But I'm not gonna assume, that people know exactly who you are and what you do.
Right.
If you could explain to the people, who you are and what do you do?
My name is Nikki. I'm typical girl from Queens. Grew up in Queens, born in the Philippines.
Were you born in the Philippines?
Yeah, I was. I came here when I was 8 or 9. I forget. One of those years, 2001. But every typical Filipino household, they want to put you in nursing. I got into nursing. Been a nurse for almost 10 years.
Shout out to the nurses.
Yes, shout out to them. worked as a nurse, kind of figured, I needed to tap in my creative side. So I started doing a lot of things, trying to figure out kind of what my craft is. I learned how to cook, I learned how to tie-dye and all those things. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, I did see
and
the
then
tie-dye
I ended up
shirts.
here with a photo booth rental business.
I love that. I love that. So backtrack, right? You got into the, speak about that, right? Growing up, like medical field, growing up in a Filipino household, how was that, like, in that journey? Was that something that you were like, yeah, one day I'm just gonna end up here, or you chose it, or was your family like, hey, this is where you gotta be? Because for me,
it's
like,
funny how you mentioned that. Yeah, I mean.
No, my family, they never really forced me to do be in the medical field, but it's the only thing that I saw. Like my cousins, physical therapists, OT, dentist, something in the medical nursing, and I tried it. My mom was like, "Listen, go to college." So I'm like, "All right, well, let me do something that I think I might like, physical therapy." Trying to be in the sports industry and do physical therapy, but I failed miserably three years in a row. Like it was, and I'm just like, Mom, how many more times do you want to pay for me to fail? Like it's just not happening. And then she was like, all right, go ahead, now go do what you want to do. And that's when I went to, try to become a barber.
It's not for everybody. I just remember sitting at a dining table every single time we had a family event. Oh, nursing is good money, good schedule. Just everything you could hear. Like everybody on my mom's side, they're all nurses. Like everyone around me were all nurses. And I actually didn't want to be a nurse. And then somehow, some way, I ended up loving it. And that's where I'm at. Yeah.
Dope. So, and then a lot of people don't know that, like I said, we met in the basketball world, right?
Yes.
And so was that like something that you were trying to do, or was that more just like because our friends were there, or?
No. It was so growing up, my parents forced, well, no, I don't want to say forced, but they wanted me to play tennis. And
That's actually that you brought that up. She a
Yeah.
tennis superstar, actually.
no, superstar. But, practice every day, tennis, and I liked it. I didn't love it as much as I did as basketball. So I used to cry and beg to play basketball. My mom finally let me play basketball, and I met some pretty dope people like yourself. Shout out to Pibna. That's where I met one of
Pibna.
I have a lot of good best friends from then, and basketball has always been a part. It's just been it's always stress-free. My parents didn't force me to play it, and I felt like I fell in love with the game young, and that's why I'm still hooping now.
I love that. Dope. So, so we break this show into two separate parts, right? Like, one is obviously your story and the creative aspect of it. The second part is how we actually make a living and a business
Right.
side of things, right? Because being creative is one thing, but you could only be a creative for so long till funds run out.
Right.
Like you need a business model for it. So, for me, when I first started barbering, like it was a side, like, again, it was barely even a hustle. It was like, I was just trying to save myself some money, cut my own hair, and then my friends started noticing that I could cut hair, and I progressed as with my skill, and I was able to eventually work at a shop.
Get your clients and stuff. Yeah.
I eventually told myself that I was gonna go all in when I realized that I love having the flexibility of having my own schedule, and I also realized all right, if barbering doesn't work out for whatever reason, at least it's a skill that I could use for the rest of my life.
Right,
Like cut
right.
my future kids' hair, my family's hair. But for you, you were doing nursing. You are in the medical industry. Are you still doing that full time?
So, kinda. It's a little complicated. So I've been traveling for the past 3 years. So I do travel nursing, and I typically do short contracts, maybe 8 weeks, and then take a little break, and then go take a little break, focus, and kind of go all in with my business, and then and then go take another contract for another 2 months. So I do both. Sometimes I'm working full-time hours as a nurse, and sometimes I'm just straight up doing business stuff.
So how was it, or not how was it? When was that moment that you were like, I'm finna go all in on this photo business and make it what it is right now? What was that moment like? What was that thought process like?
I think from the beginning, from the first time I thought, okay, I want to do a photo booth rental business. It was, you know, first of all, I did a lot of research. It was low risk for me. I mean, if it didn't work out, what am I gonna do? Sell my equipment and get my money back? And I tried, right? So it was low risk for me. And then when I started doing events, I was like, oh wow, like this is actually, like people are throwing parties and people who are throwing parties wanna have fun. Sure. And if I can provide that service every single weekend, I'll be straight. Like I'll make my money. Right now, obviously, I haven't even been a year in business yet. So I've kind of planned it accordingly where I'm taking contracts, saving up money. I'm able to pay my mortgage, able to pay my bills. And the times that I'm not off, I'm not stressing out about the money.
Right.
So in a way, I'm not able to do this business if it weren't for nursing. And that's why I'm so grateful for it. And that's why, you know, sometimes it's easier if you're working and can provide for yourself before you start into doing the business.
That's a gem. Yeah, you definitely need the funds to back it up.
Yeah.
But real quick, how we sounding? We good?
No, we're good. Just be careful a little bit with rustling and like your hair.
I got you.
So you mentioned having the funds like to kind of as like a safety net, right? Because for me, I thought about it the same way, right? Like getting your own barber tools is one thing, but you also have to get your licensing, which that costs a little bit more. But I always looked at it like, for me, barbering was the main thing, and then Airbnb, real estate, that was something on the side. But I understood that I can't get into like Airbnb. What if like I'm not getting booked? So I need barbering to back that up, right? So, how did you balance having these contracts and doing the luxury photo booth rental business? Like, what's your schedule like? You can show us how you navigate through that.
So I think I'm lucky in a way that nursing, my job is I'm able to work 3 days a week. I do work nights, so sometimes I give up my sleep on the days that I do work and I put in those hours. I go to a cafe, look at leads, book events and like talk to clients and do contracts. And even as tired as I am, I know that because I'm working, I have to sometimes just sacrifice the luxury of sleep. It is my baby, right? So if I'm not gonna do the work, who's gonna do it? Who's gonna do it for me? So there are times where I'm losing sleep, but for the most part, I've been lucky only because it's only 3 days that I'm working and I'm able to use the rest of the days, and I just have to spend it well. Sometimes I need to go to the gym, make sure I'm only at the gym a certain time.
Right.
But at the end of the day, like you just gotta be mindful like how many hours there are in a day. So you just have to schedule and kind of just do, make your schedule the way so that you're able to do everything.
I love that because trust me, having a traditional job and then doing your side hustle and then try to keep your physical and mental health on point.
I just gotta make sure I gotta go to the open gym.
Yeah, right.
Some days I gotta sacrifice that too.
I know. I was just, Dale. I was shooting. Shout out to Dale. I did a photo shoot with Dale.
Yeah, I just hit him up. I was like, yo, I need some pics.
Yes. Shout out to Dale. He knows what he's doing. I realized like, even him, he's like, man, sometimes I don't even know how I get to this open gym. And I'm the same exact way. I'm cutting my last client and jetting to the open gym, trying to get there at 8:30, just for my mental sake. And obviously, it's a workout.
I need to play basketball to be at that mental state, because if not, I'm just bottling all this stress that's going on at work, at my business.
Right.
Basketball is the only way out.
You gotta let it out, shoot the J on somebody's face, right, real quick.
Cross it up real quick.
So, shout out to everybody that's tapping in on YouTube, on Twitch and Facebook. And if you're watching the recording, make sure you drop a like, drop a share. And if you're tapping in, subscribe to the YouTube, man, because I love, like, this is how I learn. It's a real selfish way for me to learn, but like, I love hearing people's stories because one, it's obviously motivating to be able to see like, wow, she's a nurse and she has a side hustle, or she's in the medical field and she owns, she pays her own mortgage, she owns her own home. Like, this is stuff that I'm wishing that someone in the Philippines who's just discovering the internet, that maybe just picked up a smartphone
Right,
for the
right.
very first time, and they just loaded their internet, right? And now they could see this because of the power of YouTube and,
Right, right.
and the internet. And they could see like, yo, there's more to the world than, you know, what we see. So, something I'm very curious about, you know, because a lot of people might be looking at this and they're like, you know, why, I want to start something like a photo booth rental business. It's actually something that I saw very popular, right? Like, was it something that you saw someone else doing it, or you were just like, I'm not kind of interested in photography? Like, did photography ever play a role in it? Like, what got you specifically into this that you didn't decide to do something else?
There was a few aspects. I don't know if you remember, like back in the day, I used to throw a lot of parties, like in the parents' backyard.
I never got
all
invited.
the time.
Sorry, we're still cool.
Yeah, it's so cool. No, I used to throw parties, and I've always loved being around happy times. Like, people were always having a good time, and photo booths always remind me of that. Like, if you go to a wedding, if you go to a party, what's the first thing people gonna do? Go to the photo booth, take pictures, and what's the last thing they're gonna do? Once they're drunk, they're having more fun, right? They're gonna be at the photo booth. And I think that's the reason why I got into the business. I really wanted to be smart about it, because I've tried other things. I've tried cooking, and that was fun and all, but it's a lot of hard work. Shout out to all the cooks out there, because that's hard work. You know what I mean? For me, I had to find the right balance, because I knew that at least in the beginning part of the business, I needed to work. I needed to work as a nurse in order for me to pay the bills.
Right.
So I needed to find a balance where I can be not really micromanaging, but like I needed to be on top of my business, but at the same time, I needed to work 12-hour shifts and also have fun doing it.
Right.
And I can't tell you a time where I'm not having fun doing it. Talking to clients, it's cool, because a lot of people, they're not calling me because they're sad. They're calling me because they're excited. They want to throw a party.
For sure.
They call me because they have heard good experiences either about my photo booth services, or they've had a great time with other photo booths where they want one. So I think for me, it was more of, I did a little research, but also by chance. One day I was on Facebook Market. I was looking, I was like, all right, let me see what's on Facebook Market. I wasn't even looking for anything. And I saw a photo booth, and I was like, oh, okay, how much does it cost? All right, I have that, let me go buy it, and let me see it. And
how much was that investment?
The first photo booth I ever bought, it was about $3K.
Oh, wow.
$3K. And then I had to buy camera, tablet. I think my initial investment, I want to say $5K.
Wow.
5K.
I didn't even know that's what it would come down to have a photo booth. That's
you gotta
cool.
get good printer, good camera, good tablet, good photo booth, backdrops, lighting. There's a lot. And then the best part about it is the learning process. Like you're learning every single time. I'm learning about the business aspect. I've never had a business before. I've never taken business classes. So I'm over here on Google, Business for Dummies 101 or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's how someone got to start somewhere.
You got to start somewhere. Watching YouTube videos endlessly, learning how to market, learning how to become a social media content creator, whatever.
Right.
That takes a while, because the older
not
you
what
get.
Not what you signed up for,
yeah,
too.
you know, I'm old now, so like a lot of the things that people do, it takes a while to get to, you know?
She's like, I'm not doing no TikTok dances.
No, I'm not on TikTok, just Instagram for now. I gotta keep it keep it simple. And then you gotta learn the photography part. I love photography, but I was never good at it, so I have to learn that. I'm not saying I'm good, but I gotta know the fundamentals of it.
For sure.
So it's definitely a learning process, but I think I stumbled upon that photo booth by luck, but also with the mindset where I knew that I wanted to do something that was passive income, and to get passive income.
That's fire. A lot of people aren't like, I guess the pandemic that passive income kind of like seeped into everyone's mind a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I was blessed to be around people that were making passive income real early. Like when I was like 20, 21 years old, I was introduced to passive income, and I'm just like, dang, you guys making money in your sleep? I need some of that. Like,
exactly.
You know, so you were talking about all the aspects of like what it takes behind the scenes. It's not just like, boom, I have a photo booth and it's gonna run. Like, it's social media, it's marketing, it's business, it's having a team around it. You know, like, again, stuff that you didn't initially sign up for.
Right.
And you figure out along the way, like, damn, I actually need all of these things to make this work,
No,
right?
that's true. I mean, I have attendants. I was never a boss. I was never, somebody's manager or whatever.
Right,
so
right.
I have to learn that too. If it wasn't for my team, I wouldn't be as successful as I am. Shout out to my team.
Shout out to the
Shout out to my
team.
team. Oh snap! Let's go. No, I love them. Great people.
Wait,
super
so we got some of them
professionals.
here. Who we got here today? What's up? Shout out to them. Shout out to them.
Nah, that's just the cousin.
the
No,
the
but
cousin?
actually my family. If
Yeah, who's on your team?
if you don't have good people around you that motivate you or are supportive of you, you're not gonna get anywhere. And a lot of people forget that. I've seen people where their business does do really well, and then they forget that they didn't get to the top by themselves. Listen, when I picked up my photo booth, my first photo booth, that thing was like 150 pounds. My cousin came with me all the way to wherever we were.
Right.
We went to go pick it up. Shout out to you, John V. He was like, all right, we're going to do this. Nobody knew what my business plan was, but they still was like, yo, we got your back. If you about it, we're going to be your models. I got my cousins modeling for me for my
Fire.
pictures on my website. But that's the
love that.
thing, like, I had a great team,
Did you know that it was gonna be 150 pounds when you got there?
they didn't know what they signed up for.
Nah, that's
Yeah.
I didn't even know that's how
No,
much.
I mean, you gotta have a good team,
That's cool though. So mainly on your team right now is your family, or
No, a lot of the attendants that I have are all of my little brother's old friends, like some of his friends that he used to ball with.
Okay.
I do have family that do it, and they're like family basically.
How is it like working with family and business? Because a lot of people are like, hey, don't mix business and family. I'm actually the opposite. Like, I love working. Like, I have Gian. Shout out to Gian. She braids and colors and just a super talented individual, and she works here. But I actually don't mind it, especially, because I'm big on communication. So I love working. And it's, the fact that you already trust this person too.
Oh yeah,
you know?
no, absolutely.
How-
I
how's
love
that?
it. I mean, my brother, I think my older brother, he's very, we're not alike. Let's just say he's strict and like completely opposite of me, but he has, he has his own craft.
You need that.
He's an IT guy. So he had made the website for me
Love
without
that,
even
yeah.
ask. And if sometimes he'll tell me like, oh, this is too plain or this is too much, but it's all good intentions. He wants me to do well. So I appreciate him for that. I mean, like I said, if I didn't have the people around me, I would be spending a lot of money and outsourcing with other people, whereas I'm saving my money now for the overhead and I can just use it for better equipment or paying my attendants.
Right, and it's cool because you get to they get to pick up where you lack at, basically, and it makes this
Right.
nice, well-oiled machine at getting this thing going. So, you call your the business a luxury photo booth business, and I've seen I've been to weddings, I've seen other photo booths. What makes it a luxury photo booth compared to like a regular photo booth?
The service, the quality of service. My attendants are super professional. They're very tech savvy, so any troubleshooting that happens right there, there's no having to call me, there's no having to YouTube. They know what to do right there and then.
Nice.
And I think that's where we differentiate ourselves from other photo booth rentals is the quality of the service that we do and the quality of the pictures, because we have our cameras, we don't use iPads or whatever. We have DSLR cameras, same
Shots
cameras
to
you use.
the iPads.
The printers
Yeah.
that we have are one of the best printers that a lot of the people in the photo booth community use. A lot of, like I said, just the overall experience that you get booking us, that's where the luxury part is.
That's super dope. So funny, we've been here almost half an hour already, but I want to tap in again. Shout out to everybody on YouTube. Make sure you drop a like if this is bringing you any sort of value. Share this with some friends. I know y'all have some nurse friends that had some dreams as well that wanted to be like a Jabberwocky or something, you know, but they still doing nursing. Listen, there's more ways that we can get this done, right? So again, if you're watching this, please like, share, hit the subscribe button. So, you know, I kind of want to talk about, you know, the money making aspect too, but before I tap into that, right? There's a lot of people that, again, you know, there's a lot of people that have barbershops. On this block alone, there's 5 barbershops. Like literally there's 5 barbershops. I'm sure if you're looking for parking, you've seen them. But, you know, there's reasons why, you know, these guys are still around and they're not like, you know, we're not, like they're not shutting down. They're doing their thing. You know, but compared to other photo booths, why do you think other photo booth rental companies aren't making money?
I think it's because they just trying to make money. I think it's because they're not having fun and it's not personal to them. When I talk to my clients, they know who I am. Like when I'm booking, they know who I am, what I do. You know, I am talking to them, communicating to them all the time. So I think some people are just doing it just for the money. And not saying the money's not good like, that I'm making, you know, but I love doing what I'm doing. And I think a lot of the times people forget you have to have a reason, not just the money.
What was that reason for you?
The reason for me is that I like to build those connections with people. I like to be a part of great times, moments like, you know, celebrating weddings, celebrating baby showers. Those are great times to be, those are great times to be part. Like your birthday coming.
Oh, I'm excited for that too. But that's big, having a passion for it and you know, loving this craft because, you know, again, it's like similar to the barber industry. Like a lot of people start this industry and like a misconception is like you're gonna make like quick money. And it's like, yes, you can make quick money. But the truth is, you know, you have to build it up. Like just because, and you could be talented as, like you could be hella talented at photography, barbering, whatever skill you have. But if you're not closing clients, booking events or getting people in your chair, you're not gonna survive for too long.
Right, no, I mean, sometimes people would rather pay that extra just because they feel comfortable and they feel like you're gonna do right by them during their event. You know, it's a stressful time to plan a wedding, to plan all these things. People want to feel that, oh, they're gonna be taken care of for their event. They don't have to worry about that part. Now worry about the other parts of their event.
Yeah, no, honestly, I've been telling people that I'm having a photo booth and they're just, it's like brings another level of hype to the
because they get to bring home the pictures. Like that's the best part.
Well, they don't even know that part yet. You know, they didn't even know that part yet. But I'm, you know, so like I'm definitely excited for, you know, just to, you know, to capture that memory. And I'm big on like photos like that. Actually, it's Amazon Prime Day, right? Or yesterday, right?
Yeah,
I was like, you've been shopping? You've been looking at stuff? Yeah, me too. Like I was looking at I was looking for the Polaroid one, so like I could have different things. But so you know, you as we transition, right? So business-wise, what was the most important lesson you learned on the business end that was kind of like aha? Like I knew I needed this piece of information, and it was a game changer for me. Like I'll give you an example. For me, it was teaching sales, right? Like my, you know, yes, if someone wants to come in here and work, skill does play a role in it. But again, going back to it, if you don't know how to get someone to sit in your chair, your skill is, you have no one to show off to. You know what I'm saying? You have no one to practice your skill on. So like teaching the sales aspect of it or closing was a big deal for me. And that was like, oh snap, this is something I need to like implement to the team and something I need to share. What was that like kind of moment for you?
I think what it was is that in the beginning of starting the business, I was frustrated because I wanted everything to kind of just happen real quick. I think for me, it was, I knew that, and I learned that I needed to be patient. And I knew that I needed to be patient because the business is gonna get there in its own time. I couldn't rush things. There was a lot of things that I needed to learn in order for me to get here, which I knew coming in, but you don't know what you don't know until you get put in that situation.
What was like one of those things you learned?
How to close clients, how to talk to clients. A lot of it was studying other competitors in the industry where I need to make my company and my business stick out and be I needed a reason for people to choose my company over other people, and I needed to find that part. Like, why would somebody choose me over somebody else who's been here longer than me?
Exactly. Yeah, no, that's dope. And you guys offer a bunch of different services. But real quick before I get to that, somebody had mentioned something in the comments, so I would love to read it. So if you're watching this,
Who's watching this? No,
yeah, she said, "Who's watching?" I'm done. So if you're watching this, make sure you say hello. And if you got any questions, you want to show love, feel free to do that as well. And I'm gonna tap into it. Boom. All right, so, we are live. We're lit right now. All right, so here we go. Romeo Images says, let's go, oh, snap photo booth. Jessica Hernandez says, boss, shout out to Chef Nikki. Freddie Tobias says, Nikki, what's going on? Shout out to Freddie, my guy. And then
Freddie,
DJ.
I've known him for a while, too.
Right, Pibna days. And DJ Red 5 says, shout out to Oh Snap NY. Me spinning in parties where your photo booth is also working is almost always elevates the event where we all win. Your business inspired me to step up in my own business as a DJ. That's fire. That's super fire. And the funny part is you started this off not even trying to do any of that. You know, you're just like, yo.
I mean, that's a very, just hearing those stuff, actually, it makes me feel really good. Yeah.
Nah, that's love because, again, like, you know, this is something that you're creating in your mind and you have no idea what else it's doing for other people or who it's motivating. Like I said, like, this is the whole thing. Like, this is what it is. And this is why I love, you know, having people on here. A lot of people always ask me, like, yo, can I be on the show? Can I be on the show? And I'm just like, bro, you're not doing anything. Like, do something. like in a very nice way.
In a nice way, okay.
Like,
no,
listen.
I get it. No, it's right. I mean, so it takes someone to be at the level where you're able. I mean, in a very humbling way. Like, I do aspire to inspire people because, like, you know, a lot of the things that are happening to me, I feel really blessed, and I want people to know that they also have that opportunity if they just look for it and if they actually, like, do something about it.
Right.
You know.
Right. But and to your point, like, you know, it's one thing to do something because, you know, you love it, you enjoy it. And it brings you income, but it's also another thing to be consistent at it.
Absolutely.
Again, I know so many talented people, but it's like you come up with one thing and I don't, like, you do one event for a photo booth and I've never seen you again, or like you cut hair for like 1 or 2 times and then, like, when's the next time you cut hair? It's like a month,
that's true.
2, 3 months.
I'm guilty of that too. Like I told you, I love to learn certain things. And one of the things that I do is that I try to learn something really well, and then sometimes I just get bored of it, and I just get over it.
Which is cool. Like, learning new things is not a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? But, like, again, for me to say, like, this is weird, but maybe it's just the way that I look at things. But, like, I never really considered myself a barbershop owner until a year later, right? And I didn't. It's kind of like saying like, oh, I'm a barber, and you just started a week ago. Like, bro, are you really a barber, or is it just a hobby for you?
You've been doing it for like 10 plus years.
Yeah. So, like, you know, imposter syndrome, like, gets thrown out the window after that. You know, it's like, yo, we really about this.
Nah. Sometimes people gotta humble themselves for sure. But I think people like to start things and they forget that you have to put a lot of work, and people don't see the work that you put in, especially on social media. When I'm posting things, they don't see what I do besides what they see on social media. They see the events and they're like, oh, that looks great, you're doing a great job.
Right.
But what did I have to do? I had to talk to 5 different clients and get shut down by four of the clients to get that one client.
Yeah.
I had to get all the people that said no to me, or there's a lot more to what they see on social media or my website or the Google reviews. There's a lot of work, and people don't see that because, I mean, I'm not posting that, you're not posting that, but who posts that? Because you're not worried about that. You're worried about just grinding and working.
Exactly. No, honestly, that's such a good point, right? Most people are like they see the end result. Like you saw everyone smiling in the photo booth. You saw the pictures that were printed, but you ain't know, like, I actually spoke to 5 people, got turned down, and now I'm here. And then the one person, the people that turned me down, like now they're like, sometimes I could get to you, and it's like, emotionally, it's like an emotional roller coaster with some things,
it's tough because who wants to get rejected, like,
right.
Like, you know what you offer, you know your worth, but sometimes people are just not looking. People just want to go the cheaper route, and sometimes you just gotta take the L and just your worth. On to the next.
Love. Gian NY Versace says that they got you booked this weekend. Check you out.
I do.
That's cool.
Yeah, I got your event. I got I got Jeff's
multiple
event,
events a day.
Yeah, that's the goal, man. That was the goal. You start off with little goals. I think what I started off is, all right, let me book at least one event every weekend for the month. Then I went with, I was able to get multiple booths, and now I was started with 1. Now I'm up to 6 booths, and
6 booths?
Yeah, so now I can do multiple events in one day.
Nice.
So
that's cool. Damn, that's 6 booths. Hold on, you need investors? What's good? So if you were to start this business all over again from scratch, right? With no money or assets, what would you do first?
That's tough. I just couldn't see myself starting a business. I just wouldn't be comfortable enough to start a business without the money, just because it would be, I guess, I'd call myself a risk taker, but that would be too much of a risk for me.
I feel that. No, that's cool. And that's cool. So, like, you would make sure you would have the funds.
Yeah, for me, make sure you have the funds and you're able to, if God forbid your business doesn't work out, you're able to take the L. You're like, all right, at least I tried. And sometimes you start a business and you don't get your money back.
I feel that. So, skills. There's skills to this as well. Being a CEO of a business, right? Like, what do you think is the most intangible skill that somebody could have?
Being personable. Being able to talk to people and connect to people.
How do you learn that?
I think I've always had it in me.
She just got it in me. She woke up.
No, I just genuinely enjoy connecting with people in a way where it's an organic way. Not like, I like to know like you're being taken care of, and I would hope that people would also want me to be taken care of. So
for sure,
I think intangible. I think being able to talk to people and in a respectful, professional way, but also to make it known that I care for your event. I want you to have a good event, and not just who wants to talk to somebody that just thinks that the event is just any other event. Like I want you to feel special on your event.
I feel that. Like, I got 6 photo booths, so it's like, whether this one don't work out, I got 5 more running anyway, No, but I feel that because, when I'm cutting your hair, like, so people's like, man, I'm proposing tomorrow, or it's my wedding tomorrow.
It's your special day.
Like, bro, put me on, bro. You got a date tonight? I got you. It's your lucky day then. So, that's how I do take like,
pride. You gotta take pride.
I take super pride. Like, when we, Saturday, you're gonna see people with haircuts and be like, I did that, my boy. Like,
right. No,
so,
I love that. Some of my friends, shout out to my friends who supported me, from the get, and they use me for their events. And like, I love the fact that they're not only are they able to bring home the print, people love that, but they're also able to look back at the pictures, and I was a part of that. I was a part of making memories for for your special time.
For sure. DJ Red 5 says, to be honest, in any creative industry, it is important, especially for freelancers, to know your worth and not undercut your own value as it affects everyone in the same hustle. Yesterday's price is not today's price. I agree.
That's very true.
Yeah,
very true.
Honestly, I think everybody should be luxury everything. Like, again, there's 5 barbershops on this block. Like, I know for a fact none of them are charging what we charge. But my hope is that they see us and they're like, yo, it's time to raise the price up, So when people walk in here, they're not like, dang, that's how much you guys charge? And it's like, this is regular,
Right.
Like this is what we deserve. This is what,
You
luxury.
practice your skill for so
Right.
long and you can do that effortlessly.
Right.
But they don't see that amount of practice or amount of time you did putting and cutting
Right.
hair. And
Yeah.
you deserve it.
For sure.
Absolutely.
They say to master something, right, it takes 10,000 hours, and
It's a lot.
it does sound, but here's what's crazy, right? This might blow you away. 10,000 hours, if you do the math on it, it's only a year, like a year and a half.
Okay. All
So it's
right.
actually not as crazy, right? But I got this from Mr. Beast. You guys know Mr. Beast?
Yeah.
This guy's like blowing me away right now. But he said, forget about 10,000 hours. I want to do this for 10,000 days. And so 10,000 days is 30 years. He's already been doing it for 15.
Yeah.
So, that was like another level of like, damn, I thought I was hustling. Like this guy,
Oh, yeah.
killing
He was
it.
hustling,
So,
for sure.
but, so, we all have wins and losses. It's not like just all uphill as
Right.
much as we want it to be. There's in your industry, sometimes you get books and there's days that are slow. There's seasons that are booming. There's seasons that are, there's seasons where like, funny story, but not so funny. Like 2 episodes ago, or last episode, I fried my camera. Like I put the wrong, very rookie mistake. I put the wrong power
that's
source
a
in
no.
it, and I fried it. And this was like a professional Canon 5D Mark
Hope
IV.
he has some
Crazy.
insurance on that thing.
Did not have insurance on it. So, but like, there's ups and downs to business.
Right,
and
right.
that was like one of the cameras I used for the show. So it was like a hit, But, I laugh at it now, but here we are. So what was, what was as a CEO, I guess, right? Like what was a win and what was a loss in a move or decision that you had to make that you could kind of talk about?
Interestingly enough, it was the first photo booth that I ever bought is the mirror booth. Like I said, it was 150 pounds. When I got it, I didn't realize how much work it would be to bring into the event. I would need 2 or 3 attendants to set up.
Oh,
and
snap.
if you have 3 attendants, that means you're paying 3 of them and you're not really making a cut. And that was the first rookie mistake for me, thinking that I could start this whole business just with that one photo booth. So I kind of had to shift my business plan in terms of, all right, I know how photo booths work now, but now I can't really use this just yet. And I use it, I market it in a way where it's a lot of work to do, and that's why I price it the most, because it takes the most attendance. But that was a learning experience for me, where I don't even use that booth. That's not even the booth that I'm booked all the time.
Right.
So I had to like look and do more research and get other booths.
That's so funny because like in my mind, I'm just like photo booth. Like I'm thinking about the iPads. Like how heavy could these things be?
No, man,
right?
that mirror thing, and that's a booth that everybody asks for, and I hate to book it. Even though the money is great, I hate to book it because it's just a lot of work.
Right.
But people don't see that again.
So you have 6 booths. What kind of booths are they? Like what do you have? What do you have? Like for the people that don't know what you offer, let them know what you offer, and bring them up to speed.
So all the booths that I have are like modern. They're all open air booths. So all of them use the same camera, DSLR camera, high quality pictures. All use the same printers, DNP, which is really good Japanese brand printer. So the quality of the pictures and the booths are all the same. It's just the aesthetics part of it. There's a mirror booth, and we have like a modern booth, which is typically what everybody books because everybody sees that at weddings and like events. And then I have a vintage looking one, and it kind of has the old feel. So if you have a different theme party, you can use that. And right now I'm like my boy Romeo. He has his own 360, so we're kind of working like a partnership where you know we're gonna try to incorporate. And he's trying to work on his LLC too, and that's why I talk to him a lot because actually, when you say that, if you see somebody else doing it, it kind of motivates you. And he's somebody that I've been talking to about like starting a business, and like it really makes me feel good that I'm able to inspire him. And anyway, he has his 360, so we're kind of trying to like contract and like kind of work together.
I like that.
So we have a 360 booth too. So I have multiple modern photo booths, which is the one that's always booked.
Is that happen to be free this weekend?
That's the one that you're gonna be using this weekend. Yeah.
No way, it is?
Yeah.
Don't tell me that.
Yeah.
What? All right. This is gonna be a lit party. It was already gonna be lit, but it's gonna be way better now. All right. Damn, that's good. Shout out to Romeo for that. But that's cool, right? So like, funny you mentioned LLCs, right? What you had gotten all that set up. Was that something you set up like yo, I gotta get this done first, or were you like, let me get booked first, and then like, all right, cool, this is actually working. Let me get this whole thing going.
I knew that I wanted to do it the right way from the get. I didn't want to. The last thing I want is any problems with the IRS. Okay, trying to take they're already trying to take my money.
Yeah.
The last thing I wanted was that, so I knew I needed to do it from the get. I don't actually have an LLC. I have an SCorp.
Right. Nice.
Alan, Adrian's bro. Shout out to Alan. He's my CPA.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I reached out to him. I said, listen, I want to start SCorp. He's like, say less. This is what you need. Give me the names of what you want. And he kind of took care of that part. Obviously, I had to do my research, and I needed to know what's the difference between SCorp and LLC. Don't even ask me about that because I don't know very little, but we're not going to get into that. But, you know, I started the SCorp first before actually putting my business out there because I didn't want to, you know, go get
do it right.
like the legal stuff. I wanted to make sure it was all done right.
That's dope. Zay Dime says, what's up, Nikki? Shout out to Zay.
Isaiah. He was my first ever like photo booth attendant, and he's been there since the beginning. I told him, I said, he's family. So I told Zay, I said, Zay, I'm about to start a photo booth rental business. He said, okay, tell me what we doing, because it's family.
Right.
We doing it. I said, all right, I need a photo booth attendant. I need you to do it with me. Say less. Right there, first event, and he's been like my top attendant since.
Must be nice.
All my attendants are great, by the way. I can rely on them anytime. I could be away in Japan. I could be away anywhere. And I know the events are going to go smoothly because my attendants are the best.
So, you know, for me, I have like I meet with my team every single month. And you know, again, we talk about different things outside of the skill of it. What is it like building your team, and you know, what are the conversations like? What are the values that you want to them to implement while they're out representing you?
We have a pretty active group chat. Everybody knows what's going on, what events are coming up, who's doing the events. We're pretty organized. Sometimes they can say I micromanage a little bit, but that's only because you know I want everything to go right with the events. But in terms of how I pick my how I pick my attendants, I need to know that they're personable, they're professional, they are responsible, they are tech savvy, because first of all, you need to be able to kind of troubleshoot if anything goes wrong.
Right.
And just respectful. And all my attendants have those qualities, and it was no brainer for me to work with them. And
nice.
I think that the reason why my business is as successful as it is because the great reviews that I get with my attendants. A lot of my clients, they call me like, oh, by the way, whoever was they were so great, they were so nice. even just the little things. If there's a kid and they just move the camera so that the kid actually fits in the picture. Those are things that people appreciate.
Yeah. It's funny, and you don't really think about those things, right?
You don't.
That's cool. That's
but
cool.
yeah, I think all my tenants are great people.
Love that. All right, cool. Let's see what's going on. Freddie says, Nikki, how was your nursing career? How has your nursing career helped you facilitate your business and its success?
Freddie, fellow nurse.
Fellow nurse.
He knows. I think because of COVID, unfortunately, I was able to get out of my staff job and kind of travel. And because of traveling, I was able to put myself in a place financially where I'm able to save up, and I'm able to save up for the business. And that's what, that's what nursing got me. That's where nursing got me. I think if it weren't for nursing, I probably would have gotten there, but in a longer period of time.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Dope. What is the biggest investment you had in your business?
The biggest investment, my time. My time. I didn't realize how much time I would be spending on my business.
Right.
And even on hours where it's not working hours, people are calling me. And if I don't call, I'm like, dang, I might lose this client. So I'm answering. And time is valuable. People don't realize that all the time that you put in, or all the time that you're spending in something, you have to be spending it wisely. And I think the biggest investment for me was the time. Forget about the money, because money comes and money goes. Like, you could always make money. If you really needed money and you hustle, you can make the money. You can't get your time back.
Fact. That is a fact. And it's, you funny you mention that, because I used to be getting these texts like 2:00 in the morning. I don't know what they was doing at that time, but like, yo man, you got a slot for me tomorrow morning, bro?
Like, they trying to get you real quick, like 2 a.m.
I'm like, I love you, but I'm not gonna answer you right now.
Yeah, there's boundaries. So you learn to set boundaries with your clients.
And in the beginning,
but
obviously you want to get things rolling, so you're gonna do what it takes. So I get it. But man, that's and that's why I love hearing these stories, because it's real. This is real life. Like, yes, people sign up, like, hey, look, I'm gonna have a photo booth business, supplemental passive income, but it's like, oh snap, I just gave myself, instead of giving a part-time job, I gave myself a double like full-time 24/7.
There were times where when I was working day shift, there were times where people were calling me. I'm like, oh man, I'm literally in a patient's bed. My phone is vibrating. I gotta step out. I gotta go answer this call on my break or something.
Right.
But you're doing twice the work that you expect to be doing.
Yep. Trust me. Again, not what you're initially thinking when you're about to get into the business.
Absolutely not. Didn't think I was gonna even put as much effort or as much work as I do now.
That's super fire, and I'm excited, man. I'm not only excited because you're gonna be at our birthday, my birthday this weekend, but like, I'm super excited just because I think that a lot of people are realizing, like, it's funny. I had Banger. She's a DJ, creative, stylist,
I watched that.
Yeah, she's super dope. And like, we had, it's like a running joke, right? With Joe Coy too, right? It's like, again, like, you could be a nurse and you could be a Jabberwocky at night, right? Like, again, it's just like the running joke, but like, I do want to push that narrative where it's like, you don't have to just be one thing. Like, you can do something completely different, and I think that people hearing your story and not only hearing the story but seeing it. Like I said, I'm big on seeing it. It's not, you're not just doing like one party and nobody sees you anymore. You're like, yo, I got 2 parties this weekend, and that's for me, that's really like, that's why I enjoy having people like you on the show, because we're really in the trenches. We're really like doing this for real. It's not like, we're not just doing this because it looks cool, or like, hey, just to say I have a photo booth business.
No. People really don't see the work that you do. I mean, just before coming here, I was at the cafe doing work, making templates, answering leads and stuff.
Nice. So Last thing before, as we close this out, we've been here for almost an hour again.
Man, it went by pretty quick.
Right.
I love it. I
She
was having fun.
She was like, yo, I'm nervous. I don't know.
Definitely was nervous. Still am. You gotta listen to myself talk later.
Honestly, like before I was nervous about it, like hearing my own voice, but I realized, like, you know what? It's more like you substitute that word nervous for excited. Like, actually, I'm kind of excited to see myself later and hear this and like.
You're right. I mean, it's a learning. It's like you said. It's next podcast. If I see something I don't like, it's gonna change.
Right. So last thing before we close this off. One, if you've been tapping in with us, if this has brought you any value, hit that like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share this with some friends. But you guys have a lot of events coming up. But if there's any last words that you want to share with the people and where they can find you and book your services, share it with them. And so we could get them, get Snappy NY at their event.
You just follow us on Instagram, @snapnewyork_
Nice.
You can follow me, Nikki May _ on Instagram. You can look us up on Google. Give us a review if you've used us before. I think one of the last words that I probably would like to end with is that, like, it doesn't matter how crazy your idea is, if you just put your mind to it and really put the work in, you'll get there, and you'll get there. It may be slower than you imagine it to be, or it may come fast. But as long as you're ready, you stay ready, and if this is something that you really want, it's attainable.
Love that. You heard it here, live in the cut. This is episode number 43. We're live with Snappy NY, Nikki May in the building. This is an amazing episode. We talked about a bunch of different things as far as the photo booth business, luxury photo booth business, the marketing, the social media aspect, and juggling it all while having a 9 to 5. So if you're watching this on the replay, again, drop that like. And next week's episode is actually going to be pretty dope. We're going to have a good friend of ours that I'm sure you guys know, Bayani NYC, who happens to be comic book artist as well, rapper, and also
definitely tuning into that.
Yeah, he's the homie, man. Super talented guy. So if you're into that world, he's gonna be our next guest. And I appreciate y'all for tuning in. We are live in the cut, and we are out of here. Peace.